to the school coordinators, and then to the members or the teachers in different schools. I can see we are having representatives of every caste of the structure in Uganda Professional Science Teachers Union. I thank you for logging on. My name is Lima Edward, the moderator for today. I'm a member of the National Executive Committee of the Uganda Professional Science Teachers Union. I'm also the regional chairperson for Greater Kampala, and I'm also a member of this Committee of Education, Discipline, and Professional Standards, a committee that organizes this ProDev Hour, a program that he presents to you every Thursday at 8 p.m. And it always presents to you on the following themes: on continuous and professional development, on rights, safety, and the policies, on innovation and skill development, on social and the economic empowerment. It always brings updates on the union programs and activities. For today, we are lucky that we are going to share about economic empowerment. We know economic empowerment is very important because this is the one that he talks about the welfare, and basically welfare is so important for us to survive. And specifically, it is going to be about personal financial management. Yeah, today's topic is personal finance management. You know, one scholar called Charles Jeff once said, "It's not your salary that makes you rich, but it's your spending habits which make you rich." Because and you realize, I think you bear me witness that this is a very correct narrative. We thought that when our salaries are raised to what we are getting now, it will be automatic that we shall become rich. But I hear very many people saying, very many teachers of science, that even their lives have just become worse. So we need to re-echo, we need to see how are we managing our finances, how on the personal ground, yes, so that we can be able to have good welfare. We are very lucky that the presenter for this, the facilitator on this topic is a person who is well grounded in finances. And this is none other than the SACCO manager, ups to members SACCO, SACCO manager. And that is Mr. Mukoba Richard. Mr. Mukoba Richard is a very experienced person in financial management. We recruited him when he had already an experience of over 10 years. He has worked with many SACCOs as a SACCO manager and credit manager, and he has worked in many banks. So he's having a big experience in financial management. That is why even we had to recruit him to help us also manage our SACCO well, and even help us as teachers to grow financially. You know, one of the issues the SACCO is supposed to talk about is SACCO education, whereby we educate our members about financial literacy. So we got the right person. and today he's going to introduce himself to you. Those of you maybe have not heard about him, and even take us through this crucial topic. Let me hand over the mic to Mr. Mukoba Richard, who is going to be our facilitator for today. Sam Mukoba.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rima, and good evening to everyone on this call. I am happy this evening to be part of this call and to really facilitate in today's session. My name is Richard Mukoba, and if I can clearly, I know where I'm seated, it could be kind of dark, some darkness, but I just wanted to attach the name to the face. So my name is Richard Mukoba once again, and I am currently the circle manager of UPSTU members circle. I'm very happy to having joined the team, and really I feel very happy every day I come to work. I want to appreciate the second members who are on the call, and all the teachers on the call, and everyone, including the secretariat staff on the call, plus any member on the call. Briefly about me, I am a financial manager with 12 years experience in finance and banking. I've been a branch manager, I've been a regional manager, and I've managed different circles. I'm also a financial literacy trainer, and therefore this gives me much experience as far as taking lead in this lecture of today is concerned. Away from that, our topic, as already discussed today, is going to be about personal financial management. I know every day we wake up and go for work to earn a living, earn our money, spend, develop ourselves, because at the end of the day, we want to see that we're living a very successful life. But many times when we earn our money, from whatever sources someone might have, like Mr. Lima said, yes, the earning is there, but how do you spend your money? At the end of the day, most of us, at the end of the day, once we earn the salary, good enough, we are all salary earners here, most of us. When you earn your salary by 28th, by around 50th, you're starting to plan how to survive in the next days until the next paycheck will be made. Reason being, we did not plan our expenses. Expenditure is the biggest animal that really finishes us at the end of the day. So by the end of this topic, we will have known how do we budget, how do we save, how do we plan our finances. Personal financial management, what is it all about? And we are saying personal financial management is about making informed decisions on how to earn, spend, save, invest, and protect your money. We are all earners. And I've said, how do we spend? How do we plan our expenditure? In our midst there, we need to save for future opportunities, for contingencies that might come along. But we also need to invest it so that we can have a multiplier effect on our incomes. We need to create more income lines, because sometimes salary alone is not enough. But we also need to protect the little we have, because I know at every level, whatever you're earning is not enough for now. But now, how do you protect that little you're earning right now? If I ask the question, do I have a plan? Do ask yourself, do you have a plan for your money? Or you just spend out of impulse? If you can just ask yourself, when I earn my money, do I sit down and plan for my money? You know, most of us, when we earn the money on the 28th or 30th, we immediately start spending even outside the budget. We have no plan. Whatever comes your way, you spend on that. And the day you get your money is the day you get expenditures. You hear a relative is calling in the village, They actually even know when we are getting the salaries. They know by 28th, Mr. Lima will getting a salary, and therefore I have to call. The auntie will call, the singer will call. That is the day you want to buy a shirt. It's the day you'll find an expensive shoe around, as you're going home. So we keep buying outside our budget by impulse. Let's look at the key aspect of personal finance. What are those key aspects of personal finance? The major areas we want to look at as far as personal financial management is concerned. And there are 5 pillars. One is budgeting. When you earn your money, do you plan for your incomes and how you're going to spend? If I asked any of us just to reflect, look at your past month, for example, March, look at whatever income you earned in March and how much, if you put down whatever income you earned in March, whether that money was a donation or whatever from salary, and then also put down all the expenses you made. It could be even this month because you may not recall what you spent on last month, but at least this month. How much income have I got from the start, from first to date? And how much have I spent? Like by item, what items have I spent on? If you listed it down and you balanced off yourselves, you'll find that you're actually living in deficit. So do we have a budget before we spend, as we earn our money, as we're waiting to earn the next salary? Do we have a budget of how we're going to spend? Budgeting. So every one of us need to have a budget of how much am I going to earn in the next month and what do I intend to actually spend on. Don't budget when you get the money already. No, budget before. So budgeting is one of the key pillars as far as personal financial management is concerned. The next one is saving. Always set aside some money for your financial goals. Everyone has goals here. It could be broader goals. It could be, specific goals, long-term goals. For example, if you say, I want to have financial freedom by the time I clock 40 years or 50 or 60 years, I want to have financial freedom. I want by the time I reach 60 years, I have no debt obligation. That is a long-term goal. It is a broader goal. But how are you going to achieve that? It is okay. You
Hello, members. I think we lost the circle manager. We lost the presenter. As we maybe wait for him to come back, I want to encourage the people who are here who have not yet become circle members. No, as well, of course, most of you here know me. The national secretary for UPSTU Members Circle. So I am here to encourage you people to join your circle, because this is a circle for all science teachers, be it those on payroll and even those on in private schools. You are all welcome, because according to our membership policy, the membership of UPSTU Members Circle is open to all science teachers on payroll, all science teachers on payroll, and even those ones in private schools. It is also open to well-wishers of science teachers, but it is also open to registered corporate bodies of science teachers. So that is it. Even when you are here and you have had such a question from a science teacher from private school, please you encourage them to join. Yes, please join to enjoy the benefits of UPSTU Members Circle. Benefits, for example, we are having, this is where we are saving as a group saving. We develop, we generate a pool of funds where you can now access them, where you can access such funds when need arises. The manager had just started, and he was telling you that saving is so important. There's no way you're going to be a good financial manager on a personal level when you are not saving. So sometimes saving by your own or saving in your bank account might be a little bit hard, because you can access that money when maybe somebody calls an auntie from the village that is having a problem, or the brother of your wife or your husband calls and is having a problem. Sometimes it becomes hard for you to refuse, to resist completely from getting those savings you have put on your bank account. But if you have, maybe if you had it somewhere, it will be hard for you to just withdraw to get those funds from the circle, for example. So it will be kept there safely. Of course, we have a policy that when time comes and you need those savings, you can get them as they are, or you can just access a loan. And so this drives to another benefit of low interest loans. We are having low interest loans as low as between 2 to 3% per month for some loan products. For example, emergency loans, micro loans. That is as low as between 2 to 3% per month. Then you are having 13% per annum, like for salary loans, for group loans, for development loans. It is as low as 13% per annum and on reducing balance. And then another one is sharing dividends. Dividends are like the profits, because this is a circle. A circle is business. It's doing business, because there's an aspect of credit when your members are taking loans and or at low interest. So they pay back interest on the money they have taken. So that means that that interest will accumulate there. And at the end of the year, we subtract the expenses for the circle, for running the circle. You see the circle is having the technical staff and then other issues it is doing. So when it subtracts the funds going to the expenses, the remaining one is shared as dividends by the members of the circle. Yeah, those of you who are already members of the circle, you bear me witness that you this year ending, sorry, last year ending, you got some good dividends. And then another one is the financial literacy. That's what we are doing even right now, which is a branch of circle education, because under circle education, this is where the SACCO members are trained about financial literacy. We don't stop at training the SACCO members, but we also train the technical staff to add on their experience and then to be able to do what they can, their work very well. But also, even the board members are also trained very well. I think, is the SACCO manager back? I think he's not yet back. So,
Mr. Lima.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I've just called him and his phone actually, he was not spotting the phone blacked out when he doesn't know. So he has put it on charge, but he's reconnecting within like 1 minute.
Okay, that is great. So thank you for that update. I was saying that the SACCO education also entails educating or training the board members. That one is there. Apart from and the other committees, because the SACCO, as per the regulations and the bylaws, it is having 3 committees which are important. We are having the executive board committee. It is supposed to be continuous training. Then we are having the super committee. That is the supervisory committee, the one that supervises the technical staff, is supposed to be trained. Then the vetting committee, the one which is working as electoral commission in the SACCO, it is also supposed to be continuously trained. So all that is SACCO education, and we are doing it. So when you join the SACCO, you will be able to benefit from all that. Then I want to re-echo, because I know we are all teachers here, as the SACCO manager comes back to carry on the facilitation. We are having a program that is ongoing, that is the exhibition of the projects which are going on in schools. We are having projects, the students are doing projects, and the teachers are the ones helping them, guiding them to come up with projects. So we are saying UPSTU is coming up with a program to exhibit them. And many schools have registered, and what we are doing now is registering those projects. I don't know if Mr. Mukalele, are you here? Maybe you can say something as the manager comes back, maybe guiding them on how to register them.
Yeah, Mr. Lima, thank you very much. I can see the manager has actually come back, but just before I hand over the mic, today we have actually received many schools which have submitted projects. There are schools which we are saying now, for me, I don't have a project report ready. What can I do? Just send in your project title and a description. Send in some basic information that maybe this is the projects, this is what it's all about, and the report you can send it later. The committee will give you opportunity to send in the full report. Maybe your project is not yet complete. Maybe the runners will complete it next time as they come back, but at least you have the project title. Submit, because if you don't submit, then the committee will not know that you have a project and they will not be able to contact you. So please submit so that the committee can contact you and support you, so that at the end of the day, you are invited for the regional exhibitions. Yeah, so the union will communicate and tell you when it will be the regional exhibition in the central, in northern, in the western. Yeah, they will only communicate to people who will have submitted their project titles, so that they can be invited. Okay, thank you, Mr. Lima. That's what I wanted to say. I think.
Okay, thank you very much. We are buying time for for the manager to come back, and I see he's back. Mr. Richard, sorry for what happened, but we can continue now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lima. I'm sorry I had network glitch. So I was on investment, and I was advising that let's plan to get smart channels where we can do other investments so that we multiply our incomes. The other pillar is debt management. Borrow wisely, and repay consistently. It needs you to create a credit history, build trust. Must you take that loan? Don't you have to revise other opportunities, other avenues? How can I get out of this problem, this financial need, if I do not go for debt? Debt should actually come as the last option because there's an interest component that comes as an expense on your side, which hits your incomes. So must you borrow that money? If you're borrowing, borrow wisely and ensure you have a repayment source and repay consistently. Then planning, have broader and long-term planning financial of your financial goals and many others. So those are the pillars. If I can proceed, personal financial management, why it matters. Why do we have to have personal financial management as teachers? Okay. Why do we need to manage our finances? One is achieve financial stability. You need to achieve financial independence in the future. You should be there when you're able to meet your obligations. You're able to pay fees. You're able to settle any challenge that comes along. When you're managing your finance, you have a budget. You spend as per the budget, okay? That means we even have funds for emergencies set aside. That means you're able even to achieve your long-term and short-term goals. So if you're investing, you have your emergency fund, you're managing your finances wisely according to the budget, that means you'll have financial stability. When you have any issue, you're able to really manage that issue. You're paying your obligations on time, your debts on time. Two, it improves saving culture. You know that when I earn my income, according to my budget, I am supposed to spend maybe 600,000 and I save the balance. But if I am asking each and every one of us, how is your saving culture? I just looked recently on our accounts in the circle are performing, and you find someone saved 20,000 in Jan. And right now, there is nothing like a saving. And by the way, this is your own money that you will need at a future date. Okay? Probably if you got an emergency today, you would call Priscilla and say, how much do I have in my account? Can I access that money because I have an emergency? Because my children or my child has to go back to school, but I don't have fees now because I've not been paid salary now. Can I use my savings to pay school fees? So if you have discipline in managing your finances, then your saving culture also will have to improve. It also reduces financial stress. Imagine you're in a situation, you got your salary on the 28th, but you utilized all your salary. By 5th, you have no money. Remember, if you're a married man or woman, you have to leave money home for daily expenditure. You need to transport. You need to feed yourself when you're at work. You need to buy that shirt. There are challenges that are coming in. The child is sick. You're thinking a lot. There is a lot of stress, which does not even allow you to concentrate at work. You're in class, but the madam is in the hospital calling you. They want medical bills. You have to pay the bills. You're scared of the landlord who is demanding, and you finish your salary long time because you're already living in debts. And so when you got the salary, you had to settle the obligations that were demanding, and now the landlord is in your case. And so it doesn't give you concentration in class. So you'll have to have that stress over and over and over again. It builds creditworthiness. We talked about debt management. How do you manage your debt? Do you pay your loans obligations on time? Because no one is willing to give you a loan when you do not pay on time. When you pay after calling you, after reminding you that, yes, Mr. Luimai, you have a loan obligation, please remit your installment. We shall look at your creditworthiness, when you give you a loan, do you pay on time? Do you honor your repayment debts? Okay? I know we shall reach a time when we are able to use financial cards. I've had a chance to look at people's and this person has done this is when if you see fly
Yeah, it is very unfortunate that I think the
I'm
we have
online.
lost. Oh, you are online.
I am, yes, I'm online.
Okay.
So, leaving operation of welfare, I can proceed and look at financial planning strategies for teachers. Now, as a teacher, what are those strategies we need to employ so that we are able to have financial stability? Okay, we are not living in errors. When we get our money, we are able to utilize the money efficiently, effectively, as per the plan. And number one, we are saying try the 50-30 rule. You know, when we are spending our money, there is what we call needs and wants. Now, needs, these are the things you cannot do without. For example, you need to eat. You need to pay rent because you will not sleep outside. You need to pay for water, for electricity. You need to transport yourself to the place of work. You need to put on clothes. But there are also wants. These are things you can do without. For example, you know, I need to go and do for some holiday. Maybe you need to take a vacation. Okay? I need to go and have a chill out. Some of us in the evening, we go and pass by some points and, you know, enjoy ourselves. Those are wants, because even if you do not pass there, you can still live. So what we are calling a 50 is, we are prioritizing this to be the need. When you get your salary, 50% of your salary should go to your needs, because you have to pay rent. You need food. So at least 50% of your salary, use it to do the needs, to pay for the food, the water, transport yourself, rent for that month, and clothes if at all you don't have. But the 30% should go to your wants. Do you need to buy that watch? Yes, I need it. Do you need an expensive shoe? Of course, we are now science teachers and everyone assumes we are enhanced, and therefore we must live a good life that is a little different from how we used to be. And therefore, we should put on that shirt that you admire to put on. You should buy that watch. You should have that phone that you want to have, but ensure that it is within the 30% that is going to your wants. Go out and, you know, drink a 1 or 2, which is okay, but ensure that the 20% is left for your future, is saved. So let's use the 50% on our needs, the 30% on our wants, and save the 20%. The 20% is going to help us in saving, in investing, and emergency funds in the future. Then also, number 2, automate monthly savings. I know we are very poor in saving. You know, getting that salary and you get off 20%. You say, Priscilla, I've got my salary, but 20% of the 1,200,000, I'm sending it to my savings account. It is hard for you after getting that money in your hands. But it is easier if you instructed Centenary Banker, Equity, DFCU, and said, every month transfer 200,000 to my savings account with the circle, my science teachers circle. That money will be moved and we shall get a receipt, acknowledge it, and deposit it to your account. And this is for your future debt. So can you automate? Automating, I mean, sign a transfer where you're not in direct touch with that money, but someone else, your banker, is doing it on your behalf, because it's very hard for us really to get that money. You work with it and say, I'm getting off 20%. Sometimes it's easy, but many of the times it's very difficult. Then clear high interest loans. Why would you go to a money lender and yet your circle is there? Can we avoid that? Those, these high interest rates come with a lot of expenditure, but the good thing is that these guys are giving you the money instantly. You need that money, yes. At what rate? At 10% per month. When are you giving the money? In 2 hours. But the expense you're going to incur in that loan is very, very huge. And it's going to eat on your income that you earn. Then number next is look into diversifying income with self-investment portfolio. We talked about investing. Can you look around for some investment portfolio you can put your money into? You can put your money in unit trusts. You can fix your money. You can buy an insurance policy that does investment. They are there when you go to insurance companies. But you can also do passive investment. Why don't you buy the shares within your circle? Because at the end of the day, this is part of diversifying your incomes. You've earned your salary, but you're saving. By buying your shares in this circle, you're saving your money. And you're becoming a shareholder. So you're going to receive a return on that money, which is dividends, which is going to be added onto your income. So can you reserve part of your money and diversify and invest in the shares of the circle? I know last year many of you enjoyed that money. It is really sweet because you've not participated even in the making of that money. Okay? Your worker is to be in class, send that money there to sit with Priscilla, and the money will make money for itself. You don't have to know how did it, because for example today, who knows how the circle performed today? But you're a shareholder there. It is your business. You don't know how it will perform tomorrow until the end of the year when you will say, yes, we made these profits and therefore we are declaring dividends because you diversified your income. Next, regular review and adjust your financial goals. Look at your financial goals. What have you achieved? What have you not achieved? Where have you gone wrong? What do you need to adjust? Tools for effective money management. These are very important. By the way, there are applications, there are apps you can install on your phone, and they can help you to manage your finances very well, to dot. They can monitor, they can track, and wherever you're exceeding a certain expenditure, they'll give you an indicator. They'll give you a warning. Yes, you budget to spend 100,000 on airtime, but you know you've already spent 95,000. You have a balance of 5,000. And so you know, oh, I over exceeded this expenditure. That you plan to spend 200,000 on food during this month, but you spend this much already. You have a balance of this. These applications are there. You can always link up with Mukoba for support on this. He can help you on how to download this app. And you feed in particular information, your income and what expenses you need to make. And these are important tools. There's also Excel or Google Sheet that can track your budget. But you can also get a financial advisor for your long-term planning. If I have this money, if I need to, for example, usually insurance companies give you advice. They may say, what do you want to achieve in the next 5 years? And you say, I need to have 10 million. So how much do you need to save now to achieve 10 million after 5 years? They'll tell you need to save A, B, C, this much. But as also in our circle, we can also advise and say, Mr. Ojara, you need to, if you tell us you want to have 10 million or 20 million in the next 6 years, then you can advise and say, okay, start to save this much on a daily basis or buy shares of this much on a monthly basis, and then you achieve this. So we can also try that and support. But most importantly, use your circle. You save, acquire loans, and do much more with the circle. By the way, this circle can do for you so much more that can boost your incomes. Even if you have money that is idle in Stanbic or Sentinel or where, if you want to invest, you can bring it in the circle. Because at the end of the day, if you keep your 10 million within Sentinel or equity, trust me, they will never pay you dividend. But your science teachers circle will pay you dividend on that money. So it's part of your investment. I implore you to go in for that. Circle opportunities are available for the members' savings. Like I told you earlier, our saving culture within our circle, our own circle, it is very, very poor. I've looked at all the accounts, and trust me, we have people who last saved in November last year. And the benefits of you saving 1 it enables you to acquire credit. If you want a loan, we shall look at how much you're saving there. But also help you to manage future opportunities. You have an emergency, you can run to your saving fund. You want to pay fees, still run to your emergency fund, your saving account. But our culture is poor. And yet we said, actually, under our policy, we say every month at least we should save 20,000 on a monthly basis in our science teachers circle. But surprisingly, we are not doing this. What about if you place the standing order through your bank and say transfer maybe 100,000 or even more than that? If you want the 20, it's okay, you transfer the 20. But why can't you aim high and say transfer 100,000 to my circle account, UPSTU? Then loans, affordable credit. We're very good at giving loans at a very affordable interest rate, 13% per annum. There is no bank that is offering that interest. But it's also based on how much you're saving and how much you're earning. Shares. So why would you go for that expensive loan to the money lenders and even to the orderly banks that are exploiting you? Yet we have our own. We are lucky that the president extended even funding to boost the science teachers. And the only criteria for you to access that money is save and buy shares. And this is your money you're investing, and the saving is your money. Then shares. You'll own dividends at the end of the day. You're saving, you're borrowing, and you're earning dividends. That bank there where you're borrowing, they are not giving you dividends. There's nothing. They're only exploiting you by getting interest from you. And this is your own. At the end of the day, you want to have a UPSTU bank for science teachers. So what are some of the financial disciplines as teachers that we should have? One, save regularly, do standing order, automate that saving. Two, live within your means. Don't live expensively. I'm told nowadays some teachers are eating chicken and all that, which is okay because our lifestyle has changed. But let's manage. You may be following someone who is eating chicken because they told you he ate chicken yesterday, and yet that person has other investments. Okay? So we should also think wisely and live within our means. Then carry minimum cash on you. I'm one of the people who have a wrong habit. If I move with cash on me, I don't know how it happens, but I'll ensure that I go back home without any money. So what I've resorted to is to either have money on my mobile phone because it's hard for me to spend, or have it saved somewhere else. But when you move with the cash on you, trust me, and you go somewhere, many times you come back when you've overspent that money, beyond even what you should have spent. But if you move with minimal cash, still you can live within, that territory. You may not because where will you spend it from? You only carry 20,000. And therefore, if you need to spend more, you don't have that. You're limited by your budget. So let's learn to carry minimal cash on us. Only what is relevant. And the use of ATM, you can also control the use of your cards. You can leave it at home. Borrow with a clear purpose. Must you borrow that loan? Must you take that loan from that money lender? And you have a clear payment plan. One time someone reached me and they were like, I want a loan, but I'm only 1 million. I want a loan, but I have a loan with another bank that is consuming 600,000. And then I'm like, but you don't have affordability. And this person was like, but I have this balance of 400,000. And I'm like, this money is for your survival. He said, no, me I will hustle. I'll find means of surviving. Give me a loan. I need an emergency loan. Don't mind about my survival. I can survive. So do you have a clear payment plan for this money? And you have the income sources to pay that money? And must you borrow? Attend AGMs and follow circle updates. We are going to really update our website. So all the information will be there. So you can always move there, just go and navigate through there and get a lot of updates. But also attending AGMs, when you can attend AGMs, issue of delegates, how many shares are you supposed to have to be a delegate? But also monitor your credit and build the trust. For future borrowing, We might also have to look at your credit history. How do you pay? Do we first give you calls and hassle with you to pay your loan so that we can give you an additional loan? Or we have lost trust in you, and therefore we shouldn't give you that as a loan because you've given us headache. So can you build that creditworthiness and trust that yes, Mr. Lima is good at paying and therefore giving me another loan is not a problem to us. Finally, managing personal finance is an essential life skill. Okay? Your financial freedom with a good plan, the right tools, and consistent disciplines. I encourage you to maximize your membership benefits and begin your journey to financial wellness. But I encourage you to save, encourage you to utilize the circle opportunities. By that, we have very rich and huge opportunities. If we all come together and build this circle of ours, we shall say by and the modulator, Mr. Lima. Mr. Lima, I hand over back to you. Mr. Lima, I'm done, and I hand over back to you. Rogers, are you there?
Yes. Mr. Lima? Mr. Richard has finished.
Oh,
yes,
oh,
yes.
yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Thank you very much, Mr. Richard, for that wonderful presentation. We are really honored to have you as our circle manager. You have really shown your experience, and I know we are all grateful here. We really welcome you to our circle, and we are so optimistic that you are going to help us grow it. Of course, plus our cooperation, as you have requested, going to grow. Yes, so this is now question time. I know the manager was breaking, especially at the end, but we had got the gist of the matter. For me, I've got a lot. I was taking my notes, and this facilitation has really made me to get rich, especially about the personal financial management. Yes, I have really liked where he asked that, do you have a plan? I think everybody has an answer for this, but I know very few of us have got a plan or a budget. And I've liked this issue of the 50, 30, 20 rule, that at least you can remove 50% for your needs, 30% for your wants, but make sure that you save the 20%. I heard him saying very well that if you can save more than 20%, it is okay. But 20% is for starters. So for you who is not saving anything, now I don't know what you are up for. Now we are in question time. I saw I encourage you here to post messages here. There's somewhere where you can type messages. I can see some people are asking already. Mr. Mukoba, you are going to start with answering a question. Of course, some are going to raise their hands. I can see some already raising their hands. I'm going to pick you, but we can start with these ones. Somebody was asking that how do you join the circle? You are going to answer that, Mr. Mukoba. Another one is asking here. Another one is asking that how much is each share in the circle? Mr. Mukoba, you can note that. And then someone is asking, what happens to the circle members who have died? Are their monies being given back, or they are usually being used in the circle? So you are going to respond to that. How much dividend did each share get as per last year? Yes. So Mr. Mukoba first answer those questions, and then I pick those ones who are raising up their hands.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lima, and I want to thank the participants for raising these questions. The first question was, how do you join the circle? Now, joining the circle, one, you should be a science teacher. That is the first criteria. But what are the requirements? We have a membership application form that we have to send it to you. We can either send by email or by WhatsApp, but we also by that we have regional branches. So you can pass by our regional branches and pick that form, or we can send to you on your WhatsApp or email. Then you download that form and you fill it. It's just a one pager and you fill it. Once you fill it, you can scan it back, but at the back of that form, there's an account number for the circle where you go and pay what we call the initial opening fees. And the initial opening fees includes, it's a total of 120,000, but it is broken down as follows. 50,000, which is the one-off, is called membership fee. And then we require you to at least buy the minimum shares, and the minimum shares are 5, and each share is 10,000. So that makes another 50,000 plus the other 50,000 for membership. That is 100,000. Then, as per our policy, we require that every teacher should save a minimum of 20,000 monthly. So we regard the 20,000 to be your start saving for that month. So that makes the 120. So when you deposit that money in that account that is on the back of that form in a table in Centenary Bank, you scan the form and that receipt to us. It can be either me or anyone. It can either be me or Priscilla. Priscilla is our circle accountant, or you can also send it to Mr. Lima or Mr. Temisto, even Mr. Kwizera. Our numbers are always given, like my number is there on this last slide. So when we receive that information, we open your account and we also call you back to link you to our system. Our system currently is Wakandi, so we link you to that system and you start transacting using your phone wherever you are. So wherever you are, you can have money on your mobile money and transfer to your account. You can also buy shares, you can save, you can also apply for a loan online, but you can keep monitoring your account and many more other services. So that is about how to join the circle. Number 2, this one asked how much is each share. Like I've mentioned, each share is 10,000. By the way, the more shares you have in the circle, the more dividend you get at the end of the year. I know last year there are people who got 80,000 shillings in dividends, but I know there are those who got 3 million and 4 million because they had more shares in the circle. So the more shares you have, the more dividend you get. So I encourage you to buy as more shares as possible. You can even buy shares of 10 million plus. So we have no limit on the number of shares, but the minimum is 5. The other one asks a question, what happened to SACCO members who have died and their savings given to the relatives? Now, when you're filling that form, there's a part for next of kin. So usually when someone dies, we shall contact the next of kin. But also we require someone to prove that yes, they are the next of kin. And so our management will actually pick it up, guided by the policy, and the savings and shares shall be refunded. Or they can actually choose someone who can step in for such a person who has really passed on. So the policy is clear on that, and always refund that. How much did each get last year? Did people get last year? I may not have a clear answer over this. Was it how much was the dividend last year? Okay. How much
Yes,
was the dividend
yes, let
last
me
year?
answer that. Yes,
Maybe Mr. Lima can answer that question.
yes, last year, each member, sorry, each share attracted.
Yeah, Mr. Lima answer that question.
Yes, I'm answering it. I'm answering the question for this
Yes,
one who
please
said
answer.
that how much did each share attract last year? Last year, each share attracted 8,000. Yeah, it was 8,000 Ugandan shilling. Of course, it was a good amount of money. And why it was like that, also why it was somehow high, it was because the SACCO had spent 4 years without giving dividends to its members. So that's why it was high now. Because when you check from the data for what other SACCOs are giving, they rarely give something like that. And most of them, sometimes they give even 500, 500 per share, 1,000 per share, 1,500. But for us, you can see we gave 80,000 shillings per share. I think that was high enough. Yes, Mr. Mukoba, I just wanted to answer that, and so that you continue with other questions.
But maybe to add on what you said, Mr. Lima, is we can always determine a price of a share at the end of the year when the SACCO has made profits. So the more profit we shall make, the higher the price of a share. So that calls for us to come and support the SACCO, come and borrow, come and save, so that our price of a share at the end of the year is high. Thank you, Mr. Lima.
Mr. Richard, okay. I think thank you very much for answering those questions. I don't know if there are other people who would like to ask, or we answer these ones which are written here, which are posted here. I saw Okelo, the deputy governor, raising the hand. Do you still want to say something or ask something, Mr. Okelo Jacobo, the deputy treasurer? Are you still on? Okay, I think maybe has moved to do something. So, Mr. Richard, there are some other questions which are being asked here. We can see on the screen. We lost some time, so I beg members that maybe we add some extra 10 minutes so that we can be able to answer these questions. Mr. Richard, somebody is asking here. Somebody is asking that for how long am I supposed to save the 20,000 per month? Yes, you're going to respond to that. The other one of a member who has died, you have already answered it. Then somebody is saying, how can I send my project titles? I think that one Rogers will talk about it. Then this one, there's a long message here. I have a colleague from a party who took a loan from microfinance, but at the start of this year, the mother Bank of Centenary Bank bought the loan away from the private microfinance. But surprisingly, the microfinance are still adamantly refused to remove their code, from the payslip. Yes, I think these are some of the, and they have chopped his money for the last 3 months. What should this teacher do to stop this unnecessary deduction? I think, manager, you can give advice there. But of course, these are some of the things we are saying, that you join a group of savers that you know, because this circle is a steward or headed by people who know you. People you can easily approach, and they will be really sympathetic, and they can't do something like that. So that's why it is better you get the loan facilities from your circle, from the money you have saved yourself, from the people, people managing the circle, and you know them very well. You see, you can approach the manager, you can approach the accountant, you can approach the credit manager. So they can't be able to do this. But how the remedy for getting out of that, I think the manager is going to give some advice about that. So, circle manager, there are some 2 questions to respond here, and then maybe we close this. Mr. Mukoba?
Thank you very much, Mr. Lima. The first question was, how long do I have to save the 20,000 per month? Now, saving 20,000 per month, like we said, this is your savings. It is unlimited. It is your savings account. So save continuously because it is your savings. And by the way, as you're coming to borrow, we shall look at your account. How much are you saving? So that component of saving, we shall add it on your share to determine how much you qualify for. But the saving is yours, actually is your money. You can even save more than that, because at the end of the day, you'll access your money. So saving, I cannot say saving has a limit. It is until you die. By the way, saving, let us build that culture. Until we die, we must save. Let us save. Let's not forget the other rule, 50, 30, 20. The other question is stopping the code. Very sorry about that. But like Mr. Lima said, let us desist from getting money from such financial institutions. Let's use our own circle. But to advise, please officially write to that microfinance, let them receive your letter, and you expect response from them. Once there is no response given, you can engage your lawyer to support you on that. I know the code can be removed by just a mere lawyer writing to them. They remove it. When they fail, you can then proceed upwards, probably to public service, and you'll be supported. But you can also use for the union management. They can also offer support as far as that is concerned. There's another question I saw here. Our circle borrowers are limited to from Mr. Alex. Our circle borrowers are limited to their savings. Then this is a limit to circle growth. Why can't you give me the money I need since I'm fully a part of this circle? Yes, probably I did not mention about this in the interest of time, but we have different categories of loans. We have the emergency loans and then the long-term loans, what we call the salary loans. And there are broader categories in there. So under the salary loans, we shall look at how much net you earn. So we can give you a loan beyond even your savings and shares, as long as your salary is enough to cover the installments in there. So as far as this question is concerned, you're answered under salary loans. You're very safe. We can give you the money you want as long as your salary can support the repayments. Mr. Lima, I think I've finished the questions and I want to return the microphone back to you.
Oh, thank you very much. I think today's presentation has been wonderful. For me, I've been writing, and I've written on 3 full pages. And I know I'll always be visiting, and this is going visiting here where I've been writing, and it will be very useful to me. There's somebody So, Mr. Richard, we thank you very much. Please go ahead with this circle education whenever you are called upon. And I know you have this in your programs, visiting different schools and even using such programs to educate the science teachers about financial management. There's somebody who asked a question about how to submit the project titles. I think here, let me call the chairperson for the education discipline and the profession standards, Madam Auma Betty, the iron lady behind organizing all these programs, to say something about this and also close today's ProDev hour. Madam Betty Auma, you are welcome. Yes, Madam Betty. Oh, yes, I think Madam Betty is unable to talk, but about submitting the projects, actually that it has been answered in that side where we post the responses. It has been answered. You use the website, the UPSTU website. It is written there very well, but we shall continue guiding all of you about how to do that. So let me close today's ProDev hour. Thank you very much for attending. Let us meet next Thursday. Good night, everyone.